We will work very hard to be responsible and fair, but at the same time be very aggressive about finding ways that the government can save money in the way they spend hard-earned taxpayers' dollars. If you work for the federal government has the right to demand standards and to demand accountability. Today's hearing will focus on how the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid pay businesses who supply durable medical equipment, such as diabetic testing materials, machines that assist with sleep apnea, back braces, and power wheelchairs to Medicare beneficiaries under Medicare Part B. Most Americans have seen ads on TV or received calls or letters promising medical equipment at little or no cost to you. What is never made fully clear in these materials is that it is always a cost to you because it is taxpayer dollars. Last year, the federal government spent nearly $9 billion on payments for medical equipment under Medicare Part B. And we're not even sure about that figure. CMS estimates that as much as 66% of this, almost $6 billion, may have been improperly paid to companies who submitted claims for equipment that wasn't medically necessary, wasn't properly justified, or was never even delivered. One significant concern is that the prevalent practice among some medical equipment companies is that they aggressively call, email, and write Medicare beneficiaries to directly market their products. I first learned of this practice from Dr. Charlotte Kennedy of Chesterfield, Missouri, who wrote to me about companies who were calling her patients to badger them into asking for medical supplies. After I heard from Dr. Kennedy, I reached out to my constituents to find out if they had experienced similar problems. In less than 2 weeks, I had more than 150 replies. Among them is Victoria Anderson, who lives with her 87-year-old mother, Carol Hughes, in southwest Missouri. Miss Anderson and her mother get as many as 3 to 4 calls from medical marketing companies every single day. We have invited representatives of 2 durable medical equipment companies mentioned by Dr. Kennedy, Medcare Medical and Diabetes Supply, and U.S. Healthcare Supply, to provide testimony today about their company's business practices. The subcommittee invited John Letko, the head of U.S. Healthcare Supply, and Dr. Steve Silverman of Medcare Diabetic and Medical Supplies to testify at today's hearing. After receiving the subcommittee's invitation to testify, both individuals, through their attorney, have declined to appear voluntarily before the subcommittee today. DME is 66%, and the rest of it is 8.5%.
Right.
Okay, you're in trouble. This is a big problem.
We acknowledge that, and that's why we have a...
Now, let's take it one step further.
Take it seriously.
In 2011, our investigation shows, based on facts and figures you gave us, that you recovered $34 million in improper payments on DME in 2011.
I believe that's the right number, yes.
Okay, so we have a ballpark $10 billion, let's say $9 billion to be fair. We know 66% of it is improper in some regard, maybe technical, maybe fraud, maybe all kinds of problems there, and we're getting $34 million back. Now, these auditors, these recovery auditors, I mean, that's terrible. We've got 66% improper payments on $10 billion, and they fined $34 million? That is like me seeing a penny over there and saying, boy, I picked it up, pay me for it. Where is the system that measures the fraud? That's what I'm interested in. So, I want to get the money back.
I totally agree with you,
It doesn't appear that you're that focused on that. Because it looks like you've got this bureaucratic system where you're figuring out improper payments, and now you're trying to tell me, well, never mind that big number. It doesn't really matter, because really, that's just paperwork, and it's not really fraud. That's what we're here about today. We're here to figure out how to get the money back from people who have ripped people off, and how we keep our money being spent on that in the future.